Fantastic. Come on in. A lot of great information going to be happening. So if you could take a minute now while we're still letting everybody in, sharpen your pencil, get out your favorite pen, make sure it's full of ink. You will be taking a lot of notes today. This is a good one. A lot of big things happening and a lot of great information is about to be shared with you guys. So get the pen out. Is it slowing down at all on admittance? No, it's not. We're at a 180 now and growing. We're going to hit the 200 mark on a Saturday. On New Year's Eve, we're going to hit 200 plus people. I think we average somewhere between 160 and 180, don't we, every Saturday? We're at 181 now and growing. We're going to hit 200. Get the word out. Should I do like Stacy does and make you hit a number before we get started? Oh, I already let everybody in. All right. Happy Saturday, everybody. 16 hours until New Year's where I live. 16 hours to New Year's. Oh. Mel must be in the eastern part of Canada or something.
No. Western. He's in Hawaii.
Six hours earlier out there. Oh, he said 16 hours. Thank you. Math is my friend. Happy New Year. All right, looks like it's slowing down, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing going. This is, I'll record it to the cloud also. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy New Year. It's incredible. I can't believe 2022 is coming to an end. December 31st, Stacy, Linda, everybody. I can't believe it. And there's so many exciting things happening in this organization. R247 is just exploding with more and more opportunities to help everybody make money, more and more tools to help us stay organized and on time and productive. And the team's growing, and we're watching so many people from so many different states and so many different areas. It's exciting every week. And here we have, 189 people and growing on a Saturday morning, but for the East Coast, they're for everybody. It's Saturday morning, and it's New Year's Eve, and we have 189 people logged in for all the greatness that's about to happen. So hopefully all of you are on the call Tuesday night. And Tuesday night, I got to introduce one of our co-founders, Miss Tanya Ricord, and I told you everything that I knew about her from day one, what an organized person she is, and what a powerful woman that she is, and all the things that she does is just amazing sometimes. And I also shared with you that there's been a few different times throughout my time of knowing them, which is 3 decades now, where Tanya, I thought I was busy. I thought I was productive. I thought I was doing all I could in a day. I thought I knew my why very well. I thought I had all my goals set. I set short-term goals. I set long-term goals. And I would sit down with Tanya and talk about that. And she would, I said, and I say the same thing we all say. I wish there was just a couple more hours in a day. Anybody got that day stretcher where we could get 27 hours in a day? Then I could probably be more productive. And Tanya is that person who will take your day, tear it apart for you, block it into sections for the tools that you use and the activities that you do, and she'll find you an extra 2-3 hours in that day. You can take that 2 or 3 hours and you can spend more time with your family, or you can take the half of it and spend more time on your business and help more people, or you can take all of it and spend more time on your business and help more people. She's got an uncanny way, and I remember the last couple of times, Stacy, Linda, you remember the last time we did this with Tanya? I thought, I got this down. There's no way that she's going to help me be more productive again. There's no way she's going to find that extra time for me again. And I was wrong again. She did it again. So I'm telling you, when it comes to time blocking, managing your time, and setting goals for yourself and for your business and for your team, and each individual person that you're personally mentoring, there's nobody better at that than our co-founder and my friend and my sister, Miss Tanya Ricord. So you guys are in for a treat today. And that's why I told you, sharpen your pencil, Get out that favorite pen, with the nice smooth rubber grip and the ball that runs easily across the paper, because you're going to be taking notes and you're going to be taking them fast. And I'll be watching cameras. If you're not taking notes, I'm going to have a conversation with you later. It's my pleasure to introduce our co-founder and just one of the great women on this planet, and our, makes half of the power couple that is Triple R247, Miss Tanya Ricord. Happy New Year to you, and I can't wait to what you're going to share.
Thank you, Niall. Hey, you guys, welcome to I guess this has pretty much been our annual thing where we've done, I think the last 2 years, I believe I've done a training like this with all of you guys. So I took a lot of time over the last couple of weeks to really think and process how I wanted to reassess this end of the year, new beginnings kind of a thing for the next year. And I'm everything but honest. I'm always honest, and I'm going through a lot in my life right now. So whenever that happens to me, I actually have a lot of introspective looking and personal growth. And so because of that, I have been seeking a lot of personal development myself, and I've really been kind of reevaluating. So I'm going to start this off with, I want you guys to, we're going to kind of look at ourselves first. And then the first half of this is going to kind of be like setting up for goals. Thank you. And then the next is going to be for, we'll start our goal. The second half will be for goals. The first part will be assessing our life. And my husband just brought me my tune. Let me put it on, because he knows I get headaches, you guys, from the screens if I don't wear it. So it really helps me. He's a doll. I'll keep him. Okay. So I'm going to preface this by saying, if many of you guys don't know, what my husband's, and I believe Niall and mine, one of our major mentors in our life has been Jim Rohn. He is a personal development person. He is amazing. If you ever have any time to research or look at any of his things, I highly suggest this man. He is absolutely amazing. He has changed my life completely, from where I started to where I am now, to even today where I'm going in the future. I'm constantly listening to him, reading his things, re-evaluating my life. He has changed me just significantly. I can't even tell you guys. Sorry, 1 second here. Anyway, so, and the sad thing to me is, and when I said this to Niall, he said, "Oh my gosh, that's heartbreaking," is some people don't know who he is. And it's absolutely heartbreaking to us, because he was such a light that shined into our lives, that made us be better, made us grow, made us push ourselves. So I'm taking a lot of the first part of this training from him and from things I've learned. I'm actually, guys, have my notebooks and I have them set up here. I'm going to read through some of my notes, because this is what I've been doing. So this first part is, again, this is all from him. This is just from different talks, different seminars I was blessed to be a part of, and my husband as well. So we're going to go through this and do some, I guess, deep diving into ourselves, and then we'll go into goal setting after that. But okay, so I'm going to start off this. There's an ancient script that says, without a vision, we die. Without a vision or a purpose, we die, right? So what does that mean to you guys? And here's the notes that I took. Where would you like to go? Who would you like to meet? What kind of income would you like to have? What kind of money would you like to share? That's been a big one for me. What do I want to share? Who do I want to benefit? As you guys know, Rory and I take a lot of time and we share here with you all. We really invest in you guys with a lot of financial help for your growth. What kind of skills would you like to develop? What influence would you like to have? What is the reputation that you would like to build? What kind of parent would you like to be? That was personal for me. If you're not a parent, you can put it in daughter, husband, and not a wife, mother, child, any of that. You can put it anything else into there. But I am a parent, and that was always been my number one priority in my life, is to raise my children. What kind of influence would you like to have on the people around you and the people you're working with, right? How would you like to influence the industry? So my husband and I have been entrepreneurs for almost our entire lives. I've actually also worked outside of the home in industries as well. But for my husband, he's just paved the way here with this. And I started being an entrepreneur at the age of 18. As soon as I could sign up, I was done and moving forward. So what kind of influence do you want to be on this organization? There's some bad words about it, and there's also some really positive things. I think sometimes people forget to look at the positivity of it. Our friend Costa always says, this is the School of Hard Knocks that we're doing, right? This is our college, our university, the path that we're taking, the field that we're going here. People don't understand that this is a way of life. It does change, and it opens so much freedom up for you. And I'm taking a dive over here, excuse me, because I really feel very strongly about this industry that we're in. Working for yourself is the ultimate goal in my eyes, because it allows you to set your schedule. It allows you to have the freedoms that you want to have. Now, does that mean you're going to have to work less time? Probably not. It just means you get to pick when you work those 14, 16-hour days, and when you get to take those 5 hours off to be with your grandkids. You get to pick that, right? Entrepreneurs work just as hard, if not harder, than anyone else, but it just allows us to pick that time that we're going to do it. So I'm sorry, got off on a tangent there. That'll happen a lot now, you guys, as I've been doing this myself. Anyway, here, so in the words of Jim Rohn, we need not lack the appetite of things to accomplish, right? It's called the promise of the future. And without the promise, life becomes a little less worth living. And those are in his words. If the promise is clear, we will pay the disciplines, we'll pay the price, we'll read the book, we'll take the classes, we'll learn the skills, and we'll do the work, right? We'll do the work. So as I'm going to relate a lot of this to like parenting, because that was, like I said, super important to me. I raised 7 children and I have now 3 grandchildren. But my goal in my life as a parent was to teach my children to see the promise, right? To see the promise of opportunity. And that's such a rare thing. And I think a lot of us don't understand how valuable that is. We need to see the opportunity around us. It's all there. So a little background. I come from, my father was the first generation American. So his parents were immigrants from Italy to this great country that we have. And you know what's, I just want to compare this for just a moment, because a lot of people would ask, how come like you're so successful, or how come your parents are so successful? And being an immigrant is a huge benefit, I believe, because we don't have that chip on our shoulders. We don't have that that thing that we're entitled, that entitlement. We don't have that, right? We come here, we're excited, and I'm not an immigrant, I'm American, but I saw this with my grandparents, right? They come here, they're excited, there's freedom, there's no oppression, they're able to work hard and build for themselves. And so that is a huge value to opening up your eyes to the opportunities and the promises around you. And once you start to see that, once you start to see the opportunities and the promises around you, life becomes easier, life becomes better. Because when you have that sense, I always would say, if you can't admit it, if you can't admit your faults, then you can't grow and learn from them, right? So if you have a sense of entitlement, then you can't change, you can't develop, because you feel like you're entitled. This is all should just be given to you. Nothing in life is easy, and nothing is constant, right? We have to work and continue to grow and change ourselves. So I'm getting ahead of myself here, like I always do. So step 1 is to find the promise, the reason for the promise. And this is what Jim Rohn said. If you have enough reasons, you will do spectacular things. And to me, that promise is our why, right? It's our why. What is your why? Why are you here? What is it you want to achieve from this? What are you looking for? What do you want? What is it that you're wanting to change in your life? Is it family and something in your family? Is it personal? Is it a project you want to do? Is it income? What is it for you, and why are you here? Now, what is the reason? That reason, you guys, by the way, and this isn't a why talk, but that is super important, because your why should be strong enough that if somebody told you couldn't have it, you would cry. It should be that strong, because you will work harder for that why than you will yourself, for sure. So anyway, So with this here, I'm going to relate a lot of things here to Triple R, you guys. But with this, okay, back to the immigrant talk. What I was saying is what my grandfather said to me, he said, all you need is an open door and a ladder to climb and someone to give you the chance. And in America, you have that. And he was so excited about that. So what I'm saying is with Triple R, we are your open door. We are your ladder to climb, and we are someone that's giving you a chance. We are investing in you guys. We're investing in building, helping you build and helping you grow. So what is it next? You have to say to yourself, these are very important things that you say. And guys, I say this to myself every day, and these are from Jim Rohn. I love him. I'm going to be a better whatever. These are what I love to say. I'm going to be a better listener. I'm going to be a better searcher. I'm going to be a better wife. I'm going to be a better mother. I'm going to be a better leader. Whatever it is that you want to be, it's the affirmations. And I say them every morning. You have to start saying, I'm going to be, I'm doing this. This is my path. The more you do this, the more that you will find your life will transform, you guys. It will transform. When you start with positivity, you end with positivity in your day, your life will transform. And you won't even know what hits you before that. So here in the Triple R situation here, it starts with being a teacher, but not just a teacher, a student teacher, right? And I don't know if any of you guys are Christian. I am heavily, very, very much have a very close relationship with God. And in the Bible, it says to be like a child, right? To come unto him. Why? Because we're always seeking, we're always asking questions, we're always learning. That is what we are meant to be here. So when you're a teacher, you're not, or an instructor, you're not just that. You need to be a student of that. The best teachers are students, are always learning, are always looking around them. I learned from all of you guys just as much, right? As I learned from like Jim Rohn. I learned from everybody around. You always want to be that student of whatever you are. So in here we are instructors, or we do some sales, right? Our personal growth or connecting. So don't just be a salesperson, be a student salesperson. Don't just be a mother or a father, but be a student mother or father. And especially don't just be, like I said, don't be a leader, but be a student leader. Keep learning, keep growing, keep adapting, keep making yourself better. By doing this, your life will change. And I was telling my husband Rory this morning is why I've been up all morning, like reviewing my old notes, right, to find some of these for you guys. And I said to him, it's amazing when you get asked to do something, how much it benefits you, right? We're talking about personal growth and goals and how this is actually what I needed in my life. So be willing to learn, be willing to review your things and change. The next step to me is starting your habits, is changing your habits, right? Small steps. People get overwhelmed. How many of you guys start at the beginning of the year? Okay, I'm going to start losing weight. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You guys, it doesn't need to be this huge astronomical hill to climb. It starts with small steps, right? Small steps. This month, I'm going to finish my PBS. Or the next 2 weeks, I'm going to work really hard and finish my PBS. This next month, I'm going to start on the phones. I'm going to start to do a few calls. Just small steps, small habit changes, change your life significantly. It's just, you know what the difference is with successful people? They're willing to try. They're willing to fail, really, is what it is. Because when you try, there's always that fear of failure. That's okay. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we move forward. So just doing those small little things can help change you. So picking your habits, and we'll talk about that in the next part of this hour, but picking the habits and what you want to do, just start. Doesn't need to be, like I said, this huge thing. It just needs to be small. Let's see, what is this one? This is what success is, according to Jim Rohn. Looking at your own desires, looking at your own possibilities, and then stretching yourself and seeing if you can become all that you can become, earn all that you can earn, share all that you can share, and make steady progress. I'm going to repeat this because I think it's very important. So this is success, right? Looking at your own desires, looking at your own possibilities, and then stretching yourself and seeing if you can become all that you can become, earn all that you can earn, and share all that you can share. And his final thing is just make steady progress. That is success, making steady progress. And so you guys, seriously, his first area is looking at your own desires and looking at your own possibilities. So that's what I'm trying to hit at right now, is that first part of it. What are your desires? What are your possibilities? And then let's do it, right? So if there are, like, again, this is from him. If there are books that are available that you are not reading, if there are classes and training that are available to you that you're not taking, if there's music that you're not listening to, and ideas that you are not really kind of developing in and taking it, if there's places to learn and grow and you're not partaking on that, that is tragedy. That is tragedy. And yes, we have all that here. We have books for you to read. My husband wrote an amazing one. And honestly, it helps you understand what we're doing here. And then there's also other books that are available. There's a lot of books for free that you can learn anything you want to learn. It's all available for free. We have the internet now. Everything. You don't even have to go to a library anymore. We have classes and training. You guys, we have so much training for you here available to help you. I think sometimes it's too much, but it's there and it's available. And guess what? It's free. It's free for you. Ideas. We have all kinds of ideas. And really, to me, this is leadership down here. Roy has ideas, and you guys, I really feel like he's touched a lot by with ideas and given inspiration, because he's constantly praying and seeking for ideas that will help everyone learn and grow. And so just listening to his ideas, being open to them really is what is important. And just having you have to recognize what the possibilities are and start wondering and seeing if you can really do it. So that is the first part there I wanted to talk about. He says ideas are like bread for the mind. Guys, these are all old notes from him too. These are ideas like bread for the mind. So we feed. I've heard it a lot and related it to in the Bible, like where they say, like, this is food for your soul, right? And that's the same thing with ideas. Ideas are like bread for the mind. Us learning to grow, it develops us and changes us in a healthy way. So for the next step would be looking at everything in your life. And this relates to me to goal setting, right? So he says fairly often reviewing everything. So every system that we have needs to be reviewed in our life. So my notes here were like health, work, family, spirituality, personal growth, learning, relationships. Those are just some of the ideas that I wrote down. But all systems in our lives need to be checked and balanced on a regular basis. Because like I just said, the one thing that is for certain is that nothing is constant. Nothing stays just right here. Everything is changing and growing and moving forward. So I related this to him saying fairly often to quarterly for me. I broke it down quarterly. So quarterly, I review my goals. I review myself. I review what I'm doing, and I change and adapt whatever I need to do to reach what I want to reach. I love this expression that he says is that what is easy to do is hard to do. Let me say that again, because that takes a second. What is easy to do is hard to do. So if it's something that's easy and you should, it's actually, most people don't make the time for it. They just don't. Like he says, walking around the block every day is easy to do and good for you, but how many people do it? How many people go take a walk, take a breather? How many people do it? But yet we all know that's something we should do, right? Every day we should do something for our bodies and our brain. I think I think they go together. So if you should and you could, but you don't, it is the formula for disaster. If you should and you could, but you don't, it is the formula for disaster. But self-improvement is starting with the most immediate thing that comes to your mind and making a change there and moving forward. So for instance, whatever first comes to your mind when you're starting in self-improvement. So there's different categories, and we'll go over that here in just a few minutes. But for instance, since we talked about walking around the block, I'm going to relate it to that. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Do it. What's the first thing that you know that you need to do for yourself in a healthy situation? I'm going to use my friend as an example here. For those of you guys who smoke, how many of you guys want to quit? How many of you know you should quit? It's not healthy for you. I had a friend here that's been smoking for years. And I mean like 30, maybe more. And quit this year. Finally, just took those little steps to help himself be healthier. And I bet you he's just barely starting to see the benefits of that one change in his life. Bet you. And you know who I'm talking to. But even this, the breathing, I'm sure has changed. The sleeping has changed. He's able to enjoy life a little bit better. Maybe walk a little further, talk a little more, love a little more. It just, you don't even know the benefits of that one change in your life. So, big thing for me is, and he's who I learned to journal from. So if you have a journal, it's so important. And you guys, I keep my journals. My husband has a whole bunch as well. And we refer to them often. Jim Rohn says that his journals were one of the best parts of his own personal library, that he refers to them, notes that he's taken, things that he's found, his aha moments. Those are the best parts of his library. And you guys, a library is important for our growth. It's very, very important. So let's see, what else did I want to cover in my notes here? Let me look. That is pretty much oh no, here we go. He says, get a journal and start with an apple a day and walk around the block. Start. Neglect is the killer of life. So let's start the process. How many of us have said, I'm going to change? Oh no, he says, how many of us have said, I sure hope things will change for me? How many of you guys have said that? I sure hope things will change for me. And you know what he says? This is the secret to success, you guys. In order for things to change, you've got to change. So we're going to come back to this now, but we're going to talk about some goal setting areas now. So I'm going to tell you guys that the three main goals that I always started with, and I've broken them down now to 8, but it's personal, spiritual, and work, right? Personal, spiritual, and work. Those are the 3 goals that I have, because a lot of goals, for instance, for me under personal, that's health and wellness. That is fun and recreation. That's family development. And then you have your spiritual, that's also personal growth, learning for me. Let's see, what else do I have here? So the 8 that I did of the last 2 years, and I'm going to tell them to you slowly because I like to talk fast. I apologize. So the first one is personal. The second one would be fun and recreation. The third is work and learning. The fourth is family and relationships. The fifth is health and wellness. The sixth is spiritual and personal growth. The seventh is financial. And the 8th is physical environment. We're going to touch on all of these here now, right now, because I'm going to have you guys think. We're going to start going on this. I just have another little quick fun tidbit from my notes here, you guys. The top 10% people who are the top 10% of the income earners in each area, each industry, are prepared. And those who are struggling are not prepared. So if you want to be the top 10% of your occupation and what we're doing here, you need to prepare, right? So again, that's what we're doing. We're talking about our goals here. So with your personal, we're going to do this pretty quickly because I have other trainings on this, so I just want you guys, we're going to talk pretty quickly on this, but I want you guys to take this and I want you to quickly write down your top 3 things that come to you when you ask about, when you say personal goals, top 3 things, go write them down. And these should be things you guys already know. We already have that inner look in ourselves, personal. What do we want to take care of in our personal? I'm watching a few of you guys to see when you're done. I'll go on to the next. Ready? Okay, now let's take fun and recreation. Write down your top 3 things that come to mind that you want to work on. Top 3. Just go. I don't want you guys to overthink this. That's why we're doing this fast. Just your top 3. What do you want? Guys, ready for work and learning? Let's do our top 3 for work and learning. What do you guys want? I'm going to help you a little bit here as you're thinking, but do you have enthusiasm for the day when you start it? Are you fulfilled with what you're doing? If not, let's figure out how to get fulfilled. Does it fit your true purpose and your gifts? Are you contributing here the way you would like to? Are you having positive interactions? Are you being a positive interaction for those who are coming in? Are you expanding your skills? Do you have an action plan to be successful here? We have a process, you guys. Are you following it? Again, do you have Google AdSense? Are you posting and working on your PBS every week? Are you eager to learn? Are you attending the trainings? Are you growing every week, trying to grow and change every week? Are you doing your V-marketing? Are you trying the products, some of the products that we have? Are you sharing the experience? Are you tapping down or tapping up? I could go on and on, guys. This is obviously an area that, anything else you want to throw in there, Rory, let me know anytime.
Oh my gosh, you're doing awesome. I got notes here. This is great, babe. Anytime I get to hear Jim Rohn, like, I actually like him through your voice a lot.
I love him. Hey, I'm letting them all write down a little bit here. Obviously, this is our purpose here, but you guys, the thing is that Rory and I want you to have a balanced life. And that's why we're focusing on everything, right? Because to be a healthy, whole person, you need to focus on every aspect of your life. And so, again, we're here to help you guys with the work and the financial part of it. And also you guys to meet a family, because this is a family here. Family isn't always what you're born into, it's what you choose. And it's been a big thing for me my whole life, and especially blending a family. It's what you choose. It's not always your blood. Niall, let me know when you're done.
I kind of cheated and went ahead a little bit because I've done this with you, but I'm done on,
Okay.
on my new one.
Then you don't get to tell me anymore. I'm taking Stacy. Family and relationships, guys. That's the next area. Family and relationships, your top 3. This is another passion for me, so I can give you some ideas if you would like. But are you present with your family and friends? When you're communicating with them, see this little distraction that is so great for work Is it down? Is it muted? Is it off? It's a great tool. Now all of us are on it all the time. But is it muted? Are you present in the air in that time that you're with your family and your friends? Do you have healthy boundaries? This is a big one for me. I've developed these over the last few years. Let's see what else are some of mine. I'm sharing all of mine with you guys. Have you just experienced vulnerability and intimacy within your personal relationships? Have you opened up to your friends? Do you have a sense of belonging and to me, this was where I worked and where I lived. Do you have clarity and peace in areas that you're lacking? Do you know where to focus and where to go? And this was a big one, being free of toxic relationships, even if they're blood. My eyes are on you, Stacy. So when you're ready, give me the thumbs up. Okay. Next one is health and wellness, guys. Top 3, health and wellness. If you guys want me to keep giving you ideas, I definitely can. So. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's what they say, right? You guys, to me, these all coincide together. So. Do you feel like your health and your wellness this is so big, you guys. Are you strong enough to endure life's events? So being healthy and stable helps you endure life's events because none of us get to pass that sadness cup. None of us do. It's just the way that we handle it, right? It's the way that we perceive it and handle it. Okay, the next one is spiritual and personal growth. Top 3 for this one, guys. Write them down quickly. Do you seek to learn new things? Do you find a clear guiding principles? Are you practicing gratitude regularly? Big one. Are you investing time and energy into personal growth? Like these kinds of things right here. And then there's a lot of spiritual ones there that I feel bidding on your own belief system, right? That will guide you. Like the next one is your financial. This one is a different one. But are you where you want to be financially? Write down your top 3, guys. Have you implemented the system and the skills that you need to make your financial goals? Guess what? We have that for you here. We have a system for you here. Have you streamlined your finances down to what you actually need to live and what you're spending? That's a big one. Are you keeping your credit score up and you're working well? Because as we know, everything relates to that, right? Working on making sure you have a favorable credit rating. And because you're self-employed, are you contributing? Are you saving for your retirement, your future? And the most important one I think here is, do you have a healthy relationship with money? And this is a huge one, you guys, because a lot of people think that the money is the root of all evil. It is not. Money can buy you happiness. It can also make you help others. We need money to live. It's just a simple thing in life. We need it to live. So therefore, it can't be the root of all evil because we need it to live. It's what we do with our intent, just like everything, right? God looks at our intent on all things. We have to look at the intent on all things. Why do we want that money? We use our money to help you guys, reinvest with you guys. What do you guys want to do with it? What do you want to make what's a healthy thing for you? And there's no shame in wanting to have all your bills covered and have some extra to be able to enjoy life. That's what we're meant to be. Men are that they might have joy. So that's what we are. There's no shade in that. So having a healthy relationship with money is a good one. And last, there's your physical environment, right? Your top 3 there. And you guys, I was raised by a God-fearing man who said cleanliness is next to godliness, that positivity and growth cannot dwell in clutter. And that's how I was raised, very adamantly that was how it was. And I actually find myself not able to think or concentrate when I'm in a messy area. So if you guys have ever seen my home or been in my home, it's very clean. And it's that way on purpose. I believe you should be able to lay your hands on anything at night, know right where it is. in case of emergencies, right? It's all about that being prepared again. It goes back to that, being prepared. So definitely going to challenge you guys, if it's not, to make sure your workspace is clear and clean so that you can focus. Okay, guys, now we have a jumping off point here. So these are the different areas that we want to do. So we set some quick little goals. So what we're going to talk about now for the last 15 minutes is how to implement those goals, right? A little bit. You guys need to make sure that you take some time now to visualize in each of those. So this is just the starting point, guys. You got to go on and do some more work, because goals are all about personal growth, but you have to take some time to visualize what you've said you want to achieve and what the goals look. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to visualize yourself if you achieve those goals. What will your life look like? You need to visualize it. Does your life look like what you want it to be? Is that what you're hoping for? And then ask yourself, all right, is this really my goal? Is this truly what I want? Is it a positive goal? Is it important enough to you that you will do whatever it takes to reach this goal? I messed that up, but is it important enough to you that you'll do whatever it takes to reach that goal? Is it yours? Is it mine? Is it worth it? If not, take some time to redefine everything, guys, and go back and start over again. And that's what this goal process is all about. It's about going back, starting over again, figuring out what you need. So a couple of things, you guys, you don't have to set these, like I said, you don't have to set these high, huge goals, but you do have to push yourself a little bit. Okay. You don't want it to be so easy that you're like, okay, it's done tomorrow. Right. But what you want to do when you're setting, so these are some goals maybe for the year. So I think we're setting, right. But if you should always have a long-term goal plan in mind. So 5 years, I like to do 5-year increments of my life. Right. So what do you want in the next 5 years? And do those goals align with those? Are those stepping stones to get you to where you want to be in 5 years? And those are just questions I really feel like you guys should ask yourself. It'll help you guys focus in on your goals. So like I said, if in order to change, you've got to change. So things are going to be what they've always been. We're going back to Jim Rohn here, guys. Things are always going to be what they have been unless you change everything. If you change, then everything will change. So again, going back to that, I sure hope things will change for me, right? That everyone says that, or I hope my life will change, or I hope it's going to get better. The hope is the first step, yes, but then it's followed by action. You have to have that action. So if you want something different, you have to make it different. If you want to be better, you have to change things to be better. And you know what? And this has been an aha for me. Wanting things to be better and then just taking little steps. It's not that things get better. It's that your perspective looks different. Your perspective on life is different. So, let's see. If he says, I'm looking at my notes from him again, it says, if you won't change, the next 5 years will look exactly the same as the last 5 years. So if you want to change and you want things to be different, just taking these small steps and changing them. And you guys, a lot of them start with our financial needs, right? Once our financial needs are met, then we have the time and opportunity, availability, I guess, really, to work more on other things. So anytime that you want to learn from the last 5 years, then you need to sit down and you need to take accountability. The last part of this talk from Jim Rohn, we're going to go over all these in just a second, but you need to take accountability and so that you can make the difference. If you do not admit the mistakes that you have made, you cannot learn and grow. You cannot change. You guys, we all have the power to control and change our life. We all have that control. We all have that power. But we just have to actually not take the rose-colored glasses off or take off the "it wasn't my fault" thing and put on the hat. How did I affect that? What could I have done differently? And that's the difference between successful people and people who aren't. They're willing to admit that they made a mistake, learn from it, and move forward. So these are some questions, and we're going to go over these kind of slow, guys, because I'm hoping that you'll take notes on these. But these are steps to take into the new year as you're setting all these goals and you're assessing. The number one I just said was responsibility, accepting responsibility for your life, where it's at now and how it got here. You have to accept the responsibility. You have to look back at it and realize what mistakes you've made, not to beat yourself up, you guys. This is all with love, right? This is with love. Just have to take responsibility so that you can start the changes. The next one, and it is multiple layers, is courage. So Jim Rohn says, Rory, you'll remember this. If 3 in a row say no, have the courage to talk to the next 3. I think how many times did he say that? A lot. So courage, and then he breaks it down into different areas of courage. So we're going to hit all these. Public courage. Have the courage to talk to people publicly. Have the courage to take up that phone call. Have the courage to send an email. Have the courage to admit if you need to, whatever, that you're not learning what you need to learn and you need to move forward on that. So courage publicly. The next one would be courage privately. Sometimes you need to admit to yourself that you've made mistakes, or you've let doubt in, you've let it plant a seed in your heart, and you need to cut it out. Sometimes you need to admit that to yourself. So to have the courage privately to own up to what you need to change. Next, that is the next one. Have the courage to change. So change would be the next one. Realizing that you can change all things. You can make things better. So just have the courage to change. The next is a big one for a lot of people here, you guys. Have the courage to be silent when listening is better. Sometimes, and this is a hard one for me, but I learned it from my husband. Sometimes it's just better to be quiet and listen, because you'll listen, you'll hear what someone else is saying. And 2, it will give you a moment to speak. And once those words are out, it's really hard to reel them back in. So just have the courage to be silent when it is better to listen. Have the courage to forgive those who have offended you, or have not, or people that you feel have been rude to you in any kind of way, or any other area of your life. Just have the courage to forgive. Forgiveness is of God, and it's super powerful. And forgiveness to me is love as well. When you let that go, that negativity, you let love in. Have the courage to compromise. Compromise with yourself, with your partner, with your workmates, with your family here. Compromise is life. You have to meet in the middle. We come from such diverse backgrounds. And if we're not willing to compromise, then we will never be able to have happy relationships in any area of our life. Next is have the courage to risk. Risk what you don't know. Move forward on a path that is maybe unknowing to you. You don't know if you're going to be successful at this. You're hoping that you will. Have that courage, take the steps. And don't just give up and say, oh, I tried it. It didn't work for me. Did you really? Because 99% of the people, actually probably 100, that talk to me and say they want to quit, did they follow the system? No. How many times have you guys heard Rory say, when you do what I do, you get what I get? And I bet you, I don't think anybody does what Rory does. I really don't. I don't think anybody here does. I don't even, but he does. So have that courage to risk it, to follow in the steps. Read his book, see what he's all about, so that you can share that vision with others. Have the courage for time, making sure you're setting your time up appropriately for you. And that's a big one for me, is time. We're doing this all for time, right? We're doing it for financial freedom, which equals time, free time to spend more time with our loved ones. I'm spending as much time as I can with my father, because he's 80. I don't know how much longer I'll have with him. And when I want to cherish that time with him. So making sure you have that. The next after this, the next step. So those are all under one, guys. That's a lot, but they're all under one. The next one is resolve. Resolve to follow your goals, to follow your new path. And then the next one here is to keep your word. You guys, how many of you guys have heard my word is my bond? You are what you say you are. If you give your word, keep it. If you say you're going to show up for a training, keep it. If you tell your leader, this is my goal for the week, do everything you can to meet that or succeed it. Keep your word in all areas of your life. If you tell your children, I'm going to be done at 6, you're darn well going to be done at 6. If you, whatever your word is in whatever area of your life, keep it. The next step is admit your mistakes, at least to yourself, so that you know you can learn and grow. It's not a hardship. And this one is, to me, this is a hard one for those who are of the trophy generation, the participation trophy generation, we call it, which is really like my children. Everyone got a trophy because you participated. No, they don't realize you have to admit your mistakes, and you have to, or you cannot grow. The next one is say, I'm sorry. If you offended somebody, you've said something, say, I'm sorry. And you know what? Apologize to yourself for letting yourself down when doubt comes in, for when you didn't show up. Apologize to yourself. The next one is faith. Have faith. I love the saying, I believe all things, I hope all things, I have faith in many things. Well, actually, I think it's all things. You have faith that there's a higher power that's leading you. Faith that you have what it takes to get where you want to be. Faith covers so many different areas. And then finally, and the last one is have a touch of humility. Be humble enough to hear and listen and take advice and take direction. And for those of you who are giving direction, give it humbly, give it with love. If you're an instructor here, give it with love. If you're a student, listen and accept with love and humility. There's a saying that says the rich need to learn how to not be arrogant, and the poor need to learn how to not be cynical. So when we're dealing with a lot of people that are calling in, a lot of people are cynical, right? It's because they're broke-minded and they're not there where they need to be. So we need to be humble and show love so that they will see that this is an opportunity for them to move forward and better their life in all areas. So, oh, sorry, one more, you guys. This is what Jim Rohn says is the most important that changed his life. He said, work with the people who deserve it, not the people who need it. I'm going to repeat that. Work with the people who deserve it, not with the people who need it. Everybody needs to be worked with. Everyone needs help, right? But work with those who deserve it, who are showing up, who are wanting to change their lives, who are wanting to move forward and be better. Rory, any thoughts on that?
Well, we could really talk about this forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna just, as we're going on here, babe, if you're all right, I think I want to have you come on next Saturday too.
Okay.
And just keep touching on this space. And I think there's the thing with getting your life set and getting things in motion is it doesn't just happen. It has to become a pattern. And so, you know, and I'm taking away something, and I wrote a note down that I wanted to explain to you guys. You don't become the person you need to become to achieve the goals you want and set forth overnight. You got to change patterns. You got to go through this. And this is why we are constantly reading, rereading, attending, listening to the same type of stuff to keep our patterns straight. You know, if it wasn't for the mentors before me, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I listened to him over and over again. I mean, Jim Rohn, I heard his stuff so much, I can almost repeat it verbatim. And I'm grateful for it because there's no way it didn't just instill in me. And you guys, I don't know if you guys know this. I didn't hear Jim Rohn as the audience. Okay. I heard Jim Rohn as a fellow speaker, as someone that was behind the curtain. And I got to hear him on stage, see him on the teleprompters and from the back of the stage. And then obviously I got my time with him, which is just priceless. But I I wasn't there to hear him. I was there to literally do my business and teach. And I soaked it in so well. And sometimes it's just a matter of being in the room, right? And that's why we always have you guys show up. And that's why we show up for you, because it's going to soak in, right? Making yourself available for that is going to let it soak in. And I think, if you know, when Tanya is just so organized with her life, and you guys, I don't think she started out that way. I mean, I've always known her to be pretty dang organized, but she had mentors and her mom, and then her father was getting her involved in the network marketing industry, where it's really so much free training.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you attend these things, you go there, but you know, we're in this industry, we're building people up and giving them the resources they need. We've taken it to a whole different level with Triple R247, and we're proud of it, and we're not going to stop.
No.
And I just look at where the path is going, and you know, the walk of life that I had and the walk of life other people have, yeah, they might be different, but when we all come together in one location via Zoom, via a conference, we can really impact and share what we've received. And I'm going to tell you guys something that Tanya said, and it brought tears to my eyes, because this is an empowering thing. But when she's listening to Jim Rohn and getting ready and going over her notes and the stuff there, you remember where you were, where you first heard it. The memories are freaking, you know, just they flush out. And she goes, man, this is good for me, right? Because she's rekindling, you know, her stuff. And, you know, when you've learned a lot, you forget things in your daily pattern, and it's good to be reminded. And she said, this is just as, what do you say, babe? It was like, this is making me,
yeah,
I feel like I'm learning more.
Yeah. When you're like, I was telling you, like, I used to have to speak in church a lot, and it would always be whatever the topic was something I needed in my life. So when I had to get up there and give a little sermon, it would always be something that I actually needed and I needed to reflect on. And the same thing here, you guys, I've actually needed the words from him, and it's touched my life. And I can say that it's going to be a better day for me today than it was yesterday because of this. And so, and I've been going through a lot of personal things in my life right now. So I really needed this. But one thing I wanted to say is, Rory just mentioned that this industry is all about personal growth, you guys. So I want to challenge you guys. I want you guys to make a goal. I want you guys to write this down. You will attend our conferences. They are so important for you. We say it over and over and over again, but guess where we heard Jim Rohn the first time? Was at a conference like this.
Yeah.
So it's like, it changes your life. So when we say to you guys, it's so important for you to be there. And I always tell Rory, this is our office time, because we work from home, we work behind the screens. This is our office time. It is so important. And going to these events will hit a lot of areas of your goals. It'll hit in personal development. It'll hit in your financial, for sure. It'll hit in work and learning, all that kind of several different areas of your life. It will hit and it will affect. And as long as we've been doing this in this industry, every time we go, we take notes, because again, what did I say? A journal, right? We take notes and we learn something, or we remember something, which is great too. And so I'm going to challenge you to, because we're at the end of my hour. So I'm going to challenge you to attend the meetings, make that a goal, make it a priority. Take the steps and the actions you need for financial success to get there in September or whenever they are. I don't know if we're having one in April yet or not, but take those steps. Then the next thing I want to challenge you guys with is to get a journal. Get a journal. When you're attending meetings, like even all the trainings that we offer, you always get little nuggets of personal growth along with those. So get a journal, start writing now. If you're not a big writer, guess what? I'm not, but I can fill a notebook like nobody's business. I'm not a big writer, but I love it. And when we go to these events, you always get a journal anyway. They give you a note. Usually they give you a notebook. And you know what's fun is I used to have, I'm all packed up now because as you know, we're moving, but I had them stacked up on my bookshelf and I could see each event and I would remember them. So, but not just for those, have a journal every day. What did I learn today? Write something down, even if it's just a small paragraph. What did I learn today? How did I feel? Was it bad? Okay, how am I going to change it? Was it good? Okay, that's great. Let's reinforce those skills to make it better, even better tomorrow, right? We're always looking for growth because we're not stagnant. So I'm definitely going to give you those two challenges: to get a journal, start writing those things down, start working on your goals. And like Jim Rohn says, and I agree too, is that you need to reevaluate these often, right? And to me, like I said, I break everything down into a fiscal year. So break them down every quarter, the end of your quarter, at the beginning of your next, just like this, we're at the end of the year. Break them down. What worked, what didn't work, how are we going to switch it? So, or if you want me to come back, I can next week. I've covered my thoughts, but I can cover more, or we can do it every year, every quarter, and I can have everyone kind of reassess together, however you guys want to do it.
I do want you to come on just for like, even if it's 10 minutes, just to highlight things that they should be doing. I want to kind of keep a pace going on changing the patterns. We're going to be doing Dream Bigger on Tuesday, and Tanya and I are going to be doing it together. We're going to be manifesting and going through everybody's entries, or their pages they built on Dream Bigger. I'm going to start out with mine as an example, and then we're going to be going through them, and that'll give people a chance to update theirs before we get to them the following week. So we're going to go through these. Now, we've got a lot. You guys, everybody that comes on a Saturday, we know you're like very dedicated. There's going to be some more stuff released. I'm going to give you guys the call schedule for next week. I'm actually going to post it right now. Hold on. I'm trying to decide what to name the page, but so a lot of people, I sent out my emails throughout the week of the call schedules. You guys all know that the pattern's there. We have a set schedule that's on RR 247 webinars, but it changes week to week somewhat. This week we have changes. We have a special Saturday. So I'm gonna just post this and let people get to know it, and I'll probably tie into it. Let's see. What should I make it? RR247.com/calls schedule. Sure. Come on, babe. What should I call it? Easy. I want something easy.
Yeah, schedule. It's fine. I don't know. Calls, schedule. Trainings.
Okay.
And I want to say why he's doing that, you guys. I want to thank the leaders here, the MSIs, PSIs, and GSIs who take the time to attend these, because I really feel like Brian and I put a lot of thought and for me, prayer into what I'm saying to help reach and touch you guys. And I really believe that just by sharing this, like I said, for me, it was such a growth for me. I'm sure some of you guys, you at least took a few things away that you can share with your team. And that is what a leader is being there, being available, so they can learn and share with their team. So when those who are leaders don't show up, it hurts my heart, because I feel like they've kind of let themselves, not only themselves down, but they're letting their team down. And so, being a leader is super important, that you attend and you learn what you can to share with those who cannot make it. So I just want to say thank you to all of you who show up on a constant basis, who love and support Rory and I. At the end of the year, gratitude is a huge thing for me. So I definitely want to thank all of you, especially those, like I said, who share and are loving and kind and who've given me inspiration. And we have so many of our leaders here do other things besides just the work with RR. Comes to mind, and I'm seeing his name right there, is Andy Perryman. He's he is also pastor, and he runs our prayer group. And I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten inspiration just from looking at his group and his words and things. So I'm just really grateful for those of you guys who have talents and love in certain areas that just share that with us. I mean, I've learned so much. Sheila Matchett is another one with our PBS system. She's so talented to be able to write pages, and just looking at her pages or her ability has helped me as well. When I first came from behind the scenes to be here, I attended Shane Belcito, his trainings, and was following his system on how to build a website. So, I mean, I've known him for many years as well. So it's just those of you guys, and especially want to say a thank you to our GSIs. You guys are developing yourself so much and you're growing and stretching. And it makes me so proud of you guys, because change is hard. It's not easy. And being willing and open to see that and move forward, it's a huge thing. So I really just want to say a special thank you to all of you guys who are investing in yourselves to make yourselves better, to help others as well. Right. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to end my hour. Rory, are we ready to go to the wine hour?
We are. So I'll post this up there. I'm going to let you guys know next Saturday, real quick, take a note. We're going to be getting things ready the first hour. Tanya will be on for a little bit. Then I'm going to come on and just get some stuff ready for the Vivo pages, some stuff that I'm going to just get you guys ready for that day. We're going to be launching 2 additional offers. One we've already talked about before, but I'm going to make sure we're doing it. I have a second one that's it's another free app that pays money. It's a great door to bring people in. We're going to be launching that. I'm going to be getting the instructors the information on that. MSIs are going to be rolling that out between now and next week, so that we have our lineage intact. It's a 2-tier affiliate program. So but we want to keep it with the instructors. It's also, again, it's a great doorway to bring other people in and share things, get people used to coming into our systems. And it's got a great little reward program for it. It's tied to, it fits what we do. There is, and we'll discuss that on that day. And then we're going to have our normal wine hour, which we're a little late getting into now, but we'll get to that. And then we're going to do 1 hour of V marketing. You guys, V marketing is one of the most important things you can do. It drives the momentum and the pace, and it makes the time differential of success happen quicker. There is not one person I know that has made the big incomes and done it the right way that has not done marketing on the phone, that haven't been part of a recruiting process. And that you guys, I know you guys hear us go over all it. It is extremely expensive when you look at what it takes to put that together for what we have here. We have it. It is something that nobody else has. It is such a freaking blessing. We just got to receive it, all of us, and run with it. And and I'm pounding out on it, leading by example every week. I think some people think like, man, this is just too hard. You know what? It is going to push your boundaries, and you're going to grow. You want to change? Start changing. You guys, we get to touch lives. So once you understand the perspective of everything that V marketing process gives you, it opens a door for everything here, everything. So we're going to still do an hour on Saturday. And then right after that hour, so it'll be 2 p.m. Eastern at that time, noon for us Mountain Time. Milian is going to come back on, and we're going to take an hour or 2, whatever it takes, to go over everything within Persona and the Vivo and everything else. So just so you guys know, the app is live in Apple. Everything's go now. That one thing we were waiting for, it's on. And I didn't want to jump on our Tuesday because we have a plan. Kenny and I have been really getting ready to launch everything on the call on Tuesday. So we're going to have him just come on Saturday that afternoon, which is after he's doing his family Christmas party. It's going to be over. He's going to get on. It's going to be really late for him, but he's going to come on and help us understand, go forward, what this means for existing, what this means for new. We're going to cover all that stuff. He also got us 5,000 of those founders things because they're gone. We got just for the US, we got 5,000. I was working on that. I got that notice yesterday as well. So everything I've been asking him for, he's given us. Makes me wish I almost would have asked for 10,000, but I think we're good. But we're gonna go over what that is on Saturday and what it means for everybody. We're gonna make sure everybody understands the staking and all that stuff because everything's in motion now, right? Everything, the timeline's in motion. Everything we talked about is in motion. I might have some other news for us there, but you guys, we are just be aware of this, right? We're at the right place at the right time all the time because of how we're set up. People are talking about Web 3.0. They know it's coming. They're doing things to get ready for it. We're in it. We already have a project in it. We're already going to be pressing forward on it. And it's in one of the biggest industries, which is health. I think it is the biggest industry, if I remember right. I don't think there's a bigger industry than medical, but I could be wrong. I don't think so, but we're into a big industry, and we've hedged our bets on it going forward. We're positioned really well, but that's going to happen next Saturday. And so we're launching 2023 better than we've launched any year. We are so much more prepared. We've been able to establish our patterns. We got the things rolled out, and guys, we still got the education stuff coming, protection stuff coming. We're gonna have a very awesome first quarter of a year, and it's gonna be setting the momentum up to carry us out through the year. And a lot of us already have the momentum going forward. But the thing about what we do, guys, is it's the most forgiving thing ever. And you're gonna see me reach out to existing students that haven't done much. They can restart anytime. And we've been trained as a society that it's a refresh new year every year. So we're going to be rekindling that. But this is why we do the calls, we do the training, and today I'm like listening to Tanya and I'm just getting fired back up to yes, I had those dreams. That's why we do this. This is why we go that way. And I know a lot of you, hopefully you guys are feeling like we're dragging you, because we want to drag you until your patterns change. You just got to show up and let us help you get there. That's what I want to just add to this. I'm so ready for this year. I don't think we've ever been in a position like we are right now to do what we're doing. The growth has been astronomical. The things that have been put into place, and I want you guys to know, I'm constantly pushing my boundaries too. It feeds me. And I want to always be the better Rory. I always want to do what I can do to be the best husband, the best father, the best grandfather, and the best leader, the best, instructor. And I also want to be the best student. I'm constantly learning from others. I'm constantly driving this stuff to share with you guys. I'm relearning things I've learned before. It's an everlasting thing, right? It's like the beat of a heart. You've got to feed it. And I'm just really proud of everybody that's here. When I see the numbers, they've been growing on the Saturdays. It wasn't too long ago. We only had 100, 110, 120. We're at 240 right now. Awesome. And I know we got a lot of people are, on their YouTube lives and things are growing. Tanya and I would still be doing this if there was just one person. This is so important on where we're going. And we'll see where the numbers go. We can only touch those that are willing to be touched, right? We can only enter in and share with those that are willing to receive it and accept it. And thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. All right, Stacy.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep the live going. I'm gonna stop the recording really quick.
All right, Stacy, we cut into your time.
It's all good.
Yeah, by the way, we're gonna be transforming these hours a little bit. Wine is always gonna be the forefront. Wine, if we ever forget that wine got us to where we got, you guys, wine is the reason we were even get cash positive at this whole process. Wine changed everything. So I want to make sure we always put it out there. The path to us getting to wine is almost hilarious. I never would have thought that something that I cared about so much would be the saving grace to make the marketing work. And I'm glad for it, but never would have thought until it just came in. And we were massively manifesting hey, we're just one great offer away from this thing working. And when that came in, so we don't ever want to forget what that did for us, but it's opened up the ability for us to build and expand and build for the future with other key areas and problem solving that us marketers are going to get. So this hour is going to be changing, but it's always going to be wine centric. We'll just highlight the other things, and then we'll have specialized training for those things. But that being said, you guys, this woman does so much for everybody here. She's behind the scenes constantly. She's one of the, MSIs get to hear us a little bit more raw. I recommend everybody, you should be striving for MSI. You should be, because you're going to be able to affect a lot more people's lives that way. And we want to see our MSIs grow tremendously in 2023. I'll put that out there. It's a absolute goal for Tanya and I, but I cannot thank Stacy enough for all the stuff that she does. And it's there, and I got to tell you, I get accused of being a robot because I just run a very consistent life, and I push and I push and I push, and it's just who I am. But when I'm pushing and I see that our MSIs are showing up and pushing, it just makes me want to go harder. And I just really appreciate it. And Stacy, You are amazing, and I can't wait for what you have today. So those of you that don't know Stacy, I think everybody does, but if you don't, listen up. She has grown tremendously. If you want to talk about growth, this woman she has grown so much over just even the past couple of years even, and then before that, you've been here for a little bit.
Yep.
But her growth is tremendous. And one of the best things that I like about her growth is that she is constantly pushing it forward. And she will call it as it is. She is not your best friend leader. She is the leader you need. And anyway, Stacy, I'm just really proud of you, and thank you for being on for this. And I'll let you take it from here.
Thanks, Rory. Well, you know, one thing when it comes to DTCA, all of us were approached by our enroller to sign up, right? And a lot of you immediately put up the blocks. I don't drink enough wine. Well, like I said on Wednesday night, I can teach you. I can teach because Tanya taught me how to drink, the 4 bottles a month, and I'm gonna have to up to 6 pretty soon. But
Y'all, sorry, Stacey, that's 1 bottle a week, guys. That's
exactly.
1 bottle a week.
Exactly.
I promise you can have 1 celebratory meal once a week and drink your bottle of wine. Sorry, go ahead, honey.
Well, so maybe you don't consume that much wine, but you all eat. We can all pretty much say we all eat, right? Right? So now we can say, yeah, Dina's like, yep, we all eat, probably more than what we really should. How many of you like to try a new recipe and expand your shopping list, your grocery list, coming up with new menu items? I know my husband has been enjoying it because it's not just pork chops and hamburgers on the grill. We've expanded. So today I want to talk about cooking with wine. All right. And so I started a page, and I kind of went off of, Rory was the last couple of weeks teaching us how to write creative pages. So while this page is going to be about cooking with wine, I will be cross-marketing some of our other products in this. Okay. I plan on cross-marketing, obviously, the wine. I'm going to cross-market in items from Corkspin. I'm going to cross-market probably the cookies, probably the popcorn. I don't know, because my pages are never done. Okay, I showed a student earlier this week that I have over 70 in draft. I start pages, and when I get to a point where, yes, I feel like I can publish it, I'll get it published. But this one I've not yet published, but I'm calling it simply Cooking with Wine. And I'm doing Sheila's way. Sheila has taught me a lot on how to create a page. And I've come up with additional headings that I'm going to use that were actually suggestions from Google and Jaxie. I've done a lot of research, and I've created a note page. I've got a page here in Google Docs where typically I have it on a notebook. I disciplined myself on this page so you guys didn't have to try and read my hen scratch, and put it on this page. But I also, one thing I've been doing is I've been creating bookmarks. And okay, this is on wine. So I've got wine marinades. Oh, shoot. I hit the wrong one. Hang on. There we go. I forgot to open a new internet tab. And I'm just going to open up some of my pages that I did. This is, I started with Cooking with Wine. This is how you research a page, guys. Have fun doing it. have it so that your computer totally bogs down and frustrates you to no end. Trust me, I was there already this morning. That I even told Linda, I got to quick save some of my stuff so I can reboot. But it taught, cooking with wine. People also ask, hey, guess what? These are some great headings that you can use in your page as well. Google is giving you, spoon feeding you ideas for growing pages. I went down a rabbit hole of marinades, the do's and don'ts of marinades. And I came across a couple, I clicked on here, I clicked on a couple of the things of, here's the 6 secrets of cooking with wine. I'm bringing it up now. And I just looked through these pages to come up with my ideas. And then what I did is I grabbed my headings that I had over here that I wanted to use, and I threw them in here so that I could kind of organize my notes. And now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste, because that's one of the big things that we like to teach here is we want you to learn how to copy and paste to make your life easier, right? So I'm just gonna, let's see here. Do I not have? Oh, I screwed it up already. Look at that. All right. I love my undo button. Just gonna say, I love my undo button. Probably my most favorite button in WordPress. And I did it again. There we go. There's my benefits. And which wine to choose from? Well, this one I got into a real big typing mode last night. And so now I'm building my page, guys. Okay. This is going to be, oh, I didn't get my marinades. This is how quickly you can get a page made off of your notes, copying and pasting it. One of the, I've picked up some great tips when coming up with, I'm going to drag this down here. I love the toolbar buttons. I'm just saying, the stuff we've got with this WordPress now, guys, if you don't play with it, you really need to. I got these 3 tips from Peter, and I'm going to keep looking for more, but we always talk about leftover wine, and Niall needs to understand what leftover wine might be. It's those last few drops in the bottom, just in case it's not, some of you may have 1 or 2 bottles open. It's okay to have more than one type of wine open and in your refrigerator, guys, or on your shelf, because then you're more apt to use it in a recipe. Okay. And this was kind of cool, that sparkling wine that is flat is great to cook with. It's a white wine with no bubbles when it goes flat. Wine that's been open too long for drinking is still fine for cooking. I thought that was quite intriguing. And this one I didn't know, because I tend to use my reds when I'm making my homemade chili, my spaghetti sauce, burritos. To cut down on the acids, I'm using my reds. Well, Peter says use your whites. Okay, I can handle that. Have fun with the page. But one of the biggest things is everybody thinks about, cooking wines. Well, they've got cooking wines. I'll just use that. It's cheaper. Okay, drink that cooking wine. Our very own Tanya has even said, if you can't drink it, why bother cooking with it? And the reason why you can't really consume cooking wine straight up is because it's filled with sodium. It's so they can sell it as a non-alcoholic, even though it's called cooking wine. There's still alcohol in it, but it's so full of salt, no one's gonna reduce themselves down to drinking it straight out of a glass. It also is so they can sell it at a lower cost. They can sell it on Sundays. Okay. When we're marketers, we're online marketers, but you know what? Merchandisers have to market their product as well. This is just one of their little marketing ploys. It doesn't fall under alcohol. Doesn't fall into the Sunday clause. Some of the benefits of cooking with wine. Use it to marinate your meats. Your meats, the steaks, the roasts, the briskets, the pork, the ribs. It tenderizes it. It moisturizes it. It pulls the meat fibers apart so it's easier to cut. How many of you love getting a great, juicy, thick steak done to perfection and you can cut it with a fork? Using wine. Yep, Anthony, I saw you raise your hand. Thank you, sir. It adds the flavors of the wines in with what we've got going on too, you guys. I thought it was interesting that you can enjoy it as a fat substitute in your recipes. So when it's calling for oil, you can put in wine. Replace the oil in a cake recipe using a white or a dessert wine in the batter. I can't wait to see what y'all's desserts, Kathy Ashby, Miss Dessert Queen of the South. I can't wait to see what recipe you're going to come up with cooking with some white wine. Sauteing fish. Add the wine while you're simmering it if you're pan frying it, or add it into the foil pack if you bake the fish. You won't need the tartar sauce. You just made your meal healthier. Tanya just went through all of those goals, helping us set goals. And, one of them is for, your health and wellness. Here's a great way. Have fun cooking in the kitchen. And now your wine club gets to help out with it. I'm not going to finish this page today. I'm mainly showing you guys, giving you a baseline, because what I want to challenge some of you on, especially those that haven't gotten Google AdSense yet, doing a content-based page like that, like what I'm doing here. I don't have a single link in here yet. And I can literally publish this page, even though it's not done. I could easily end it right now and just say, check back soon for the recipes. And I can publish it, and someone's probably going to bookmark my page. Now I've just published it. They can come back soon and check for my more recipes, because I've got a whole bunch of recipes already in my site that I can quickly add in here. Let's see here. Let me go to preview in a new tab. So it opens up a new tab. And we will go down to, there we go, red wine, dark chocolate fondue. We'll start with the desserts first. So, desserts. Start with them. as we can. I'll make that an H3. And I'm just going to copy this. All right, I've done an internal link. It's going to go right to this recipe. I just cross-marketed my page. Okay, and if I go to this page, you're going to see that I've got the Discoveries Grenache. I even, you know, it's a page I already had written. I'm cross-marketing an existing page. So if someone comes here, I'm giving this page additional options for more traffic. I'm keeping my visitors around one more click. Do you guys see how you can fall down and go down this rabbit hole of creating a page when you start cross-marketing your pages to it? That's what we need to do. Everything is circular. Everything can lead back to each other. So now I do need to get some work done on my SEO. So I need to get my key phrase in there. I need to do my meta description. I'm going to take this and I'm going to modify it because it's way too long. Look how quickly I got that to green. Just copying and pasting, guys. I'm not overthinking it. I still need to get some outbound links. I'll get some. I need to add some images. All right. Well, you know what? Rory has a whole bunch of images out in the Dropbox. Let's go visit. We're going to click on the wine pictures. And we want, well, desserts seem to get my attention today. A wine float. Oh, I remember when someone made these on the Wine and Dine. All right, we're going to change it to align right. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. Gives them something to catch their eye. Now I do need to put in the alt text. Oh, that was a little too much. All right. Look at that. I've already got part of Mrs. Yost. She's green. I just have to get some outbound links in there and I'll get that when I finish my page. Oh, subheading distribution. Well, let's see where that is. Gee, I wonder why. Look at all this. I have way too many words in between my two subheadings, that one and this one. So I gotta insert some. Let's see here. And we'll add another one here. Make it 3. Is that going to get you guys' attention, that kind of a heading? It's going to get them to read, what am I talking about here? Well, I'm talking about red wines. And now I'm green and green. Oh, I've got one paragraph, contains more than the recommended. Well, let's see where that is. Well, of course. All right, our marinades. How quickly I get everything green. And because I typed this as though I was having a conversation with someone, my transition words automatically appear in there. So I don't have an issue with that. And I get so excited, I'm using a definite active voice. So yeah, I mean, I have fun with these kinds of pages. So now I can prep myself for main entrees and appetizers. I'm going to leave desserts first because, yeah, it just seems right. Let's see what else I can grab here. Well, of course, I've got to get some spam recipes in there. Come on, there we go. I know a lot of you are cringing at the word spam. My son made spam burgers, his own special way for our family, and there were no leftovers except enough for him to have breakfast the following morning. He planned well. And fast food, a healthier way for busy families. I probably don't have that in there. So now I'm going to go to my cooking, food, and wine. And I've got wine pairings and recipes down here. So when you guys create a page, you never know when you're going to back to use it again, to tie it in, to cross market. So let's see here. And I've got lots of them here. Well, we got to highlight a Merlot. And you know what? I'm just going to spice it up. All right. Low. We'll do that one. Hold it. So the big thing I just really wanted to encourage everyone with is don't put up your own roadblocks. Find a way. So one thing, like I've got my December wines, they're sitting right here. I've got to do my unboxing yet. And I like seeing the surprise of seeing what's in those boxes every month. So that, here, I'm going to stop my screen share. I like looking at the wines each month to figure out what kind of foods do I get to plan around. And I will go out and I will hit up some of your pages. I have several bookmarks, several instructor pages bookmarked and other recipe pages, just so I can have fun with some of the recipes that you guys previously made. Now I've got the wine, I want to see how it pairs for me. And then share it with people. Okay, spend the afternoon writing a page about cooking with wines. And when you go out for your New Year's Eve festivities, we all are going to be eating food at our New Year's Eve festivities, right? Yes, Niall, there was a day shopping for wine. Now we shop for dinner based on what wines we have on the shelf. But when you're with your friends and your family tonight, and you get to talking about some of the food, you know, oh, this cheese ball, oh, it tastes like it's got this cheese. It's hard to say, but it's like Gruyere. And I know it would be great with this Chardonnay that I've got back at my house. I wish I would have brought it with. Or maybe you're at your house and you go, oh, thanks so much for bringing all this charcuterie board. And they go, it's meat and cheeses. Yeah, it's a charcuterie board. I've got a perfect wine that's going to go great with that. Bring it out, share it with everybody. Did I once say, I need you to buy my wine? No. No. Entice them with sharing. Entice them with sharing. That's all I had for today. I did have it pretty quick and short. I didn't expect myself to be that organized to.
Back to your growth, Stacy. Your growth is showing in all sorts of areas. It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm just, wow. Okay. I'm going to take a couple moments if we have a little bit of time before Niall comes on and does the all powerful remarketing. I'm going to cover a couple of things. So those of you that are here, I'm going to give you a heads up on a couple pages that this will help us for next week. So let's do that. I'm going to share my screen. Now I'm gonna put this out there. Everybody go to your instructor. They need to go all the way up to the MSIs. I'm gonna start a little bit of a wave on this. We all do the things the right way. This is a 2-tier affiliate program. What that means is you get credit as a system, you get paid the rewards for using it, and then you get paid on those you refer, and you get paid on those that they refer, and it stops there. So we wanted to go to our instructor and then their instructor, and this is, we don't always get paid through like the DTC system and the binary stuff, but some things are just great as traffic generators. And if they make us money, fantastic. Okay, and if we get some leverage, fantastic. This program has been out for a while. I've been vetting it out. We've had some of our team members using it, and it's just getting better. So we're gonna roll it out there. Now we have P2P cash, which my buddy built, right? My buddy's built. I helped build the infrastructure. I was part of the testing group on this for years. And the P2P cash system is working better and better. And I got to tell you guys, I'm just going to say, I go back and forth with it being my default app for texting based on what I'm doing in the day. And it's still sending stuff out there. I'm still earning moolah. It's fine. As soon as they're getting it seeded out, and as soon as we start seeing the revenues equate more than what it costs to get additional phones, I'll get a whole bank of phones. Now it's one of those things, like if I can buy 10 phones, spend $150, like $15 a month, call it $200, and I can make that $1,500. Okay, that's great. I mean, I look at it like, okay, that'll cover the insurance bill, that'll cover a car payment. That's what we get to do with leverage things like that. But we want to not overcommit. I'm not going to sign 2-year contracts with anything. We're going to go month to month and weather it out. But it's definitely not something I'm going to bank my life on. It's going to be additional. Like, I'm not going to go buy a boat. I'm not going to go buy a car on it. I'm going to put it there. And what happens in a lot of the areas that we have is, I think people lose sight that we're building a lifestyle. The lifestyle has multiple streams of income in order to support this lifestyle. If we just dive in on one and let that one be it, we're not gaining from the knowledge and the experiences that Tanya and I have had. We want multiple streams of income. So take advantage of the one to build up for the other one. It's a mindset and a pattern of living where, hey, I'm going to build abundance so I can afford more abundance, so I can help more people buy that abundance that we're creating. And if you're a good steward of the incomes that are coming in, you can create more and more wealth. So you get to a point where an opportunity shows up. It's not a decision. We're going to do it because it makes sense. And we're not doing it that's jeopardizing our financial, what I call the nut, our bills, because we already surpassed what we need to live. Now we're building excess. We're building wealth. We're building substantiated cash flow. And that's where we want everybody to be. And so if you're not seeing that and you're not feeling that, we got growth. Let's make the growth happen. And by focusing on V marketing, which is coming up here soon, that is the best area for anybody to get ahead. Build your own PBS, build your V marketing teams. That's what you should be focused on. It'll create the wealth to have you do everything else and participate in everything that we're bringing to the table. That's it. Don't make it more complicated than that. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And I was like, if Stacy finishes up, I'm going to do this. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to go to my pages. Oh my gosh, you guys know that there's always more things coming, right? You guys know that by now, right? There's more stuff coming. All right, so I'm going to go here. There's the P2P cash page. And I'll put this in the chat. Everybody should have one of these created. This one doesn't really have they have an in-app referral thing they started playing with. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't even care about that. It's one level anyway. This is just something I use to get people on, get them going, and it's a good door opener. Like for colleagues I know, it's like, hey, try this system. It's a free thing to make money. If you want to make a lot more money, let me know. Like, just use it as a hey, just try this out. A lot of people don't have a side hustle, and I thought everybody did, and I've ran into a bunch of people. It's the holidays, you're out shopping, and we actually went out. We went out a couple of days and I was just running to people from high school and everything that I hadn't seen in like literally decades. And I'm just, bringing up stuff, and it's just amazing. Like, people really don't know what to look for. They've got to be guided on it. So it's good to have an opening to put out there, but it's just one more thing we put out. So P2P Cash, this page is built. You guys just rip this, copy it, put your own links in it, modify it, get it done. And look at my, I do have a plug for our other stuff in there. Take advantage of this page is ready for you guys to take and run with. It is not already given on anybody. It's something you need to add. Okay. Next one. It's Tapestry. Some people may have already, this has been out for a long time. And here's the thing is, things can be out there and good and no one knows about them still, right? It's the law of marketing. This is one of those programs. Known about it for a long time, just wanted to watch it. I watched it fix some bugs and get some stuff there. It does have a way for people to make money doing surveys, so we can add this into our job boards and stuff that's there. But it's a free app. There is a upgrade that's $20 a year that allows you to get paid being an affiliate. So it's kind of like their back office fee. I definitely recommend that. It's just $20, but because we're referring, especially if you're an instructor, you're going to get the benefits from putting the students in and growing your team. And I put the video on here on getting started just to show people how it works. It works very simple. There's not a lot of education behind it, though. We're really techie advanced here, so we do it. But I'm going to show you something on here as far as Google AdSense on the Tapestry page. And this is, I'm going to thank Candace Gunstream. She points out things to me all the time, like, Rory, break down more details. And I don't think about all the stuff that I do, but you guys, the way I wrote this, I've been figuring out Google ad placements and what they do on the pages. So you'll notice that my pages, you'll notice that Google places ads on my system probably more than a lot of other systems. I've been tweaking the way I write to more correspond with that. And it's been a very interesting direction. But you'll notice when I do my writing style with the first, the second, they're putting more and more ads on my actual pages. The only reason they do that is because the revenues go up. And I'm gonna just go over this. Like the month of December, I did the holiday time, we did the postings. And this is one of the main reasons I'm building out the, so you guys got these pages. Tapestry, you need to get your own link. There's a referral link. Get it from your instructor. And if your instructor doesn't have it, tell them to go to their MSI or go to their instructor. They all know we're going to be trickling this down. MSIs are going to be getting this out to everybody. We'll be pushing this out there. It's one of those. It's a kiosk offer. Okay, this is one of those offers that, when deployed properly, is going to make $10, $20, $30, $40 a month. It's not a massive income stream. It's just another income stream to help cover costs and overheads. And it's one of those things for a lot of our students that may be in a bad way where they can't even afford to get out of their debt, right? Like, they don't have the means to get out of the debt. They're buried, they're in the poor get poorer situation. Little things like this edge it up. And that's why I like to have them. That's why I like Computa. I mean, now we got Tapestry, P2P Cash. It's all these things that can help get things going, and they just add a little bit more to it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the share. I'm going really quick. You guys have those pages to build. We're going to cover those again next Saturday. We won't be bringing them up on Tuesday. We'll bring them up next Saturday. And then we're going to get ready on the Vivo stuff. I'm going to be rewriting pages. We're going to be doing all of that as well. Just because it's a whole new frontier on that. And we're going to be going from our transition into the new, and we're going to be pushing through January 31st. I'm on the founders package. It's called something else, but on the founders NFT or whatever, the level 3 NFT, through the end of the month, end of January. So, and then we're going to be into the new, right? And going forward and just adding people and pushing that out there. We've got a lot of paces on that. We've been building up the keyword SEO. We've been very on it, right? And we're going to continue that press. There's thousands of us with the devices. We're using them. We've been learning. We're in a really good pace for that. I'm just going to bring up something on cash flow for the year. If everybody is taking advantage of all the things we put out there, we're creating ways where we're creating positive growth profits. And being on the Tuesdays and on the Saturdays, you're learning how we put those out there. I'm always looking for those things that we can market and get reciprocation on. And if we have traffic coming into our PBSs and we're building out right, everyone that loads a new offer is going to have people see it. We're going to get exposure from it, and we're going to grow from it, even at a little pace. But our teams help us grow too. We were set up to win. And if I look at the peer-to-peer cash system by itself, that could help fund all the profits you need to run this. And then we add these other things so we can get cash flow coming in to grow out. And it's something that everybody, no matter whether they feel comfortable to push to the next level or not, are there. But I'm going to tell you this, as far as watching growth with our students, they see some success in any one little thing. That it doesn't matter the dollar value. It's just that they see it working for them. Sometimes that's what people need to really accept the change we're giving them. And that's why we constantly add things and do that direction. There's a purpose for it. And I'll go back to Candace. Usually she's on here. She always brings up, Rory, can you go into more detail? So I'm going to try to break that out this year. There's 3 things this year I'm going to work on. I'm going to work on being more detailed and even slower on the training. It's a request I get a lot. Okay. I've been working on that my whole life. So I'm going to continue to work on that to be better. The second is I'm going to try my best to explain some more details on why we do things a certain way, so you guys can be part of the growth process as well. Something I just go and it's a pattern. I don't really break it down because I have a pattern of making it happen. I'm going to try to break it down so you guys can grow with me in those patterns too and catch up. The third thing I'm going to do is what I'm doing with my book, where I'm going to be reading a chapter and I'm going to break it down. What's behind that chapter with the students? We're going to be doing that starting February 7th. On Tuesday, and I've been seeing a lot of people order the books. You guys know those are shipped out by an amazing warehouse, right? But those are shipping out real quick. I've noticed that those are getting there, so we're getting that lined up. And just for future reference, that's going to take all year, and they're going to be recorded. And so every student that we bring in new, we want to entice them to get the hard copy book and catch up and be part of the new one, right? Because they'll be able to hear it and dive in. The more I can share my experience of why I market the way I do, it's going to help everybody, because we're all doing what I do, right? And so this year is going to be a huge year of growth on that. And I've just been able to analyze myself and what I'm not been sharing. And it's not because I didn't want to, I just didn't break it down like, oh my gosh, I better share these details. And Candace, guys, you can thank Candace, because when I hear things over and over again, I start going, okay, it's really important to them. And then I started thinking about it and like, oh, you know what? I would want to break them down too, because I try to put myself in the shoes of the people I'm working with. I've just had this experience of doing this stuff for so long. It just becomes part of your structure. You don't think about it. It becomes breathing, right? You don't think about breathing, you just breathe. And so I'm going to really break it down as much as possible. And I'm going to do segues. Tanya and I are looking at the whole year. I'll be doing more marathons. There's going to be times when we're not in the same place, which means I work and I don't sleep and eat really. I just work. I'm going to do marathons during that time, so you guys get the benefit of what you guys can see what I would normally be doing by myself. And I'm going to break it down, and we're going to really focus on more ads. The one thing, and I'm going over here, Niall, get ready, and we'll take a 5-minute break. The one thing that I notice when I'm teaching you guys that I fall short on is my own marketing even. And I watch my Google AdSense revenue just kind of dwindle down, then it comes back up, and it dwindles down, and it comes back up. And normally during the holidays, I push so many holiday ads out there, I get a huge influx, right? And this year I've been preparing some amazing things for us, but we can't lose sight of that steady advertising. So, whatever you're doing in your patterns as you're going into 2023, make sure you're spending one night a week, sometime in that night, doing ad postings at least once a week. I know that's my maintenance that has to happen. Okay, it's my maintenance. And some of you, when you're on the Tuesday call and you're hearing the stuff going on, you can be posting during that time. You should be engaged, but I mean, sometimes it's robotic, right? And I'm hoping that we can find even more incredible places to post. And I'm putting this out there. I I may or may not know of some advances in classified ads that are coming out. I may or may not know. So let's just get our ads ready. We're going to keep things posting. I'm going to tell you that our ads that are being delivered are, our memes. You guys, I don't know if you've seen the latest ones that came out. We've definitely turned a corner, right? And deliveries are amazing. We've got this whole system down. We've fine-tuned it. And I'm going to let you guys know that there is something massive on its way. And because I know what it is, the memes that are going to be delivered in February are going to be delivered near the front of February so that when it's announced, we can roll with it. Those that have the advertising will have it to start pushing out immediately. We are going to be adding another huge section in our health and wellness categories in the coming days. And it's a big area. It's something that I personally spend hundreds of dollars with. Yeah, I saw that, Niall. I spend hundreds of dollars with each month. It's going to be replaced with a better, superior scientific product. And I'm excited. I've already started writing pages. I've already started getting stuff ready, but the ads will be ready and delivered when we need them, when we're approved to run it. And I can just tell you, it is so fun to be at that pace where we're at now, and we get to lead that. And because we get heads up on things as we roll things out, everybody that's in that ad rotation, or it's not even a rotation, everybody that's part of the memes and the graphics, we're going to have the cutting edge stuff that we're running every month. We're going to be on top of it. And then in between, if we don't have anything that's like dynamic, we're going to just add more to our why, add more to the education, add more to our key areas. It's a steady pace now. We got a really, really good eyeball on it. And I've been doing the indicators. We do a very special tracking, and you guys are putting these out everywhere, and it's building. That consensus marketing is genius. And we get to do it with our PBSs because they're all similar. We get to do it with those ads because they're all similar. We get to do it with our wording of the ads because we're all sharing and we're all similar. All of this is adding up. And it's one of those groundswells. And I've been part of the groundswell marketing stuff. I didn't know what to call it back in the 90s. We would just obliterate in mail order, and we would hit the same list over and over again because it kept bringing results. But pretty soon people were like, oh my gosh, this is everywhere, because they received it 9 times that month. There is a saturation game that we get to play. It's Coca-Cola marketing, really broken down. We want them to see our stuff everywhere and anywhere, so it looks bigger and bigger and bigger and impresses on them, hey, maybe this is something I should do. That is what we get to gain from this. And it's going to be one of those things that in years from now, we're going to be, oh my gosh, I am so glad we did that. Look what's happening now. That's what we get to do. Okay. Now I want you guys just to put this in perspective. We're consumers, right? We are part of an ecosystem of life, and we have an ecosystem that creates time and financial freedom in RRR. And we're going to be consuming today, and we're going to be consuming tomorrow, and we're going to be consuming in 10 years and 20 years. I don't think anybody here thinks they're going to stop eating anytime soon, right? Until you die, right? We're going to eat, we're going to be buying cars, we're going to be traveling, we're going to be seeing the world, we're going to be consuming life, hopefully at a great lifestyle. Everybody here should be at that great lifestyle. The time and energy we're building into ourselves now, the education we're going forward with, only makes our futures better. And understanding that and buying into that fact makes you do the work today so you can gain tomorrow. And I've always been a patient process individual. I knew that, hey, I'm young, I'm going to build this up so that when I'm in my 30s, I don't have to struggle like my parents did, right? Well, I knocked that out. And I get to help you guys press to a point where, hey, we're not going to struggle. We're going to grow masses. We're going to be, you guys know how much resources it's going to take to build 10 million people into this program. And we've got a path to do it. Like, it's not like, how are we going to do it? No, we already know how it's going to happen. We already got it measured. It's spreadsheeted. It's on point, and we mind our business so well that our business is going to mind us. And we're just instilling the same thing with you guys. And so we know we've got the platform to do it. We've got everything in place to do it. We got the technology pieces to do it. We got the right people. We have surrounded ourselves with the right environment all around to blow this into a huge proportion. And we're already doing things that we've never done before. The vision is getting bigger than us, and it's carrying us, and that's where we want it to be. And as I look at all the blessings that we've had come in there, and a lot of things, in life, I'm just going to end with this for this year here. This is probably the last thing you guys are here for me for a little bit, until next year, right? The thing is things seem trivial. Some things seem little or big as far as like impacting your life. They're all maybes. If you're manifesting a great life and you're going the right direction, changes are going to hit you, and they're not going to always seem pleasant because you're still growing your mindset. You're still growing what you believe in, and you're still growing who you want to be. So your old self is going to be bleeding through there where things might like hit you and you're like, oh my gosh, woe is me. This is so bad. When it's really you getting what you've been manifesting, things lining up to give you the pavement to go where you want to go. And I looked at something like, we got hit. I get hit in the face like everybody, right? You're like going, everything's going great. And then boom, a 2x4 comes out of nowhere. And sometimes you're like, oh, I saw that coming. And it's usually other people, right? It's usually someone doing it to you, or you allowed it to happen. But every time I get knocked down, I reset, I refocus, I recommit, I go up stronger. And I have a pattern of doing that. And all it does is make me a better person. And I just get stronger. I will always come out of it better because of the pattern I live. And I've turned something that's going to happen to all of us. We're never going to all have a great life. It's not meant to be that way. We're meant to struggle. Growth comes from struggling, right? Those trees pop out of the struggling, clay and mud and dirt and rock to become strong trees, right? Everything struggles to get strong. It's a universal fact. So the struggles are going to happen. It's just, what do you do when you struggle? What is your pattern of reaction? Do you curl up in a ball, or do you stand stronger and just keep pushing back? What do you do? And if you're not doing it the way that's making it better for you, you can switch and change anytime. Our life is a perpetual moment of change anytime we want to make it. We have the freedoms to do that. So I put this out to the MSIs today because it's an inspiring time, and and we're going into a new year, right? The taxes will be done. All of my decisions for the financial stuff at midnight tonight, it's what it is. It's written in the books. It's done, right? And then we're on to the next year. And at that same moment of energy, any of my students that haven't shown up, they're not doing their stuff, I just start new next year. I'm going to reach out to everybody. I'm going to just act like they're in there to go forward and see who wants to come along. And that's what I'm going to do. And I recommend that to everything. And I'm going to forgive everybody for not showing up, for missing their appointments. I'm just going to go forward and let them choose to show up this year or not. I'm going to tell you, based on indicators, the recession's real. It's going to hit people harder and harder. You're going to see it wave like it always does. And we have a beacon of hope for anybody. That beacon, though, is shiny. It doesn't mean they're being attracted to it. Sometimes you got to put it in front of them. SMS them. Call. That's why we do that. We're putting the beacon in front of them. We're just looking for those that want to hear our message now. All right. I'm going to do what we usually do. I'm going to stop the, we're not recording anymore, right? We're live. So it's recorded on YouTube. I'm going to end our recording because, as we know, we're not going to show our V marketing to the world. That you got to be in here ready to do it. It's where Tanya and I fund your marketing. We fund the biggest cost of your business for you as your partner. We just ask that you receive it and go do the work. So 5 minutes, come back. Is that good, Niall? 5 minutes?
Oops, I'm muted. Yes, absolutely. Perfect.
And for those of you watching this on YouTube Live, if you don't know where to go, get with your instructor. Those of you that are, if you're just checking this out, yeah, we pay for our marketing. We pay for your marketing, which is our marketing, to help you build your business. So, whether you want to, make hobby income, part-time, full-time income, or career life-changing, you can make, it's proven. We've made more than $1 million a year doing this, net profitable. And you just got to do what I do, get what I get. This is where we do it all. Guys, we got this made. Love everyone. Happy New Year. And Niall, I'm glad that we're continuing this on New Year's Eve, because this is what's going to change the life next year